Hi everyone, welcome back to Shelly's Nest. During our travels, one of the most common questions we get is, where are you going next? So we thought we would address that today. The trip that we're going to talk about and give examples from is our trip from South Carolina right after Thanksgiving all the way to Ehrenberg, Arizona, where we hung out at Scully-Palooza. Things that drive our trips and where we're going to go is family. So right after Thanksgiving, we decided to visit family in South Carolina. That was a lot of fun. After that, we visited more family in West Virginia, so family's driving our trips. Since it was December and it was chilly, we decided to check out the Gulf Coast. We'd already visited the Gulf Coast in Alabama a few years ago, so this time we decided to check out the Gulf Coast in Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. So that was a lot of fun doing that. Holidays can also help dictate where we're going and how long we're staying. When we were in the Gulf Coast for Christmas, we were only going to stay 1 week, but we decided to stay a second week to stay through New Year so that we wouldn't have to worry about all the traffic from that holiday. As we're driving through, we decided to go up and visit our daughter in Lubbock. After visiting her, we needed to get on over to Ehrenberg, Arizona. Weather drives our trips. We were going to drive in the northern part of New Mexico and Arizona to go see the corner in Winslow, Arizona, but snow was predicted. So we decided we were not going to drive in snow, so we went the more southerly route in New Mexico and Arizona, and we got to see things that we wouldn't have otherwise, obviously. And then we got to Ehrenberg, Arizona to see Scully-Palooza itself, and then also to see family. Another thing that drives our trips is our desire to see all the state capitals in the United States. On our way out west, we did stop and see the capitals in Alabama and Louisiana. Roadside America drives our trips a little bit to see some unique attractions throughout the country, and we'll stop at some of those. Personal recommendations from people that we have met in campgrounds along the way, and recommendations from family helps drive our travels. On our way west, we stopped at Valley of Fires in New Mexico. We probably had 3 or 4 people tell us that was an excellent place to go and we should really check that out, so we did. And of course, YouTube has all kinds of things about Scully-Palooza, and we were told we would not be too out of place in a Class A, and they were right. There were several other Class A's there, which made us feel a little bit better. We also use Google Maps. Once we've decided on a town or a place that we want to go, we use Google Maps to search for points of interest in that town. Doing that has helped us find community playhouses so we can go see plays. It's helped us find parks so we can go for a walk. It's helped us find museums and just all kinds of different attractions. So we really enjoy doing that, and we can save them on our phone so we can see what our saved attractions are, and that gives us a good starting point of what we want to do for the time that we're in that town.
Debbie asked for me to talk about the GPS that we use for our travels. I decided early on to get a dedicated GPS for the RV. What's important about this GPS is it lets me plug in the height, weight, and length of the RV and how much propane we're carrying. There are certain bridges that might be too short for us to go under, or that we might be too heavy to go over. And so this GPS helps to update our routes to avoid those type of problems. The other thing that I like about it is it also lets me plug in my average speed. In Texas, 70, 75, 80 mile an hour speed limits are pretty norm. And Google Maps might say it'll only take 3 hours to get there, but we plug it in here and I say what my max speed is. It might become an extra hour drive time. It helps to give us a realistic expectation of the drive. We don't trust this exclusively. Debbie's the true navigator. This is just a pretty picture that helps me go straight. But Debbie helps compare using Google Maps on her phone what we're seeing down the road. Now, what I really enjoy about this one is it also handles traffic updates and weather warnings and those type of things. The other thing that we use on our travels, and this is more of a gadget than a trip planning tool, is a tire monitor. And so one of the things that we learned early on in our travels with our Class C RV is to keep a close eye on the tire pressures. So with this takes a lot of the worry out of what's happening with the tires.
We like RV Parky because it can store several trips for us. So even if we're on a current trip and we start planning the next trip, we can go ahead and start putting points of interest in there, and it kind of just gives us a starting point of what we want to do next. RV Parky shows you different types of RV parks and casinos that you can stay at. It also shows stores such as Walmart and Cracker Barrels. They also show gas stations such as Flying J and Pilot. I think they're more like truck stop gas stations. They also show rest areas and road warnings. It's good that they show the rest areas, not only just for resting and taking a break and having lunch or whatever, but some states allow overnight parking at rest areas. It also shows road warnings such as low clearance bridges or weight limits on bridges. While you're in RV Parky, if you're looking for RV parks and campgrounds to stay, there's several different things you can filter on. You can filter on, do they have water, electric, 50 amp, sewer? Do they have sewer at the site, or is it more of a dump station? Do they allow pets? Do they have laundry, showers, those types of things? You can filter on those and it'll show you campgrounds that only have what you've selected. Or if you don't select anything, it shows you everything they have. Once our trip is planned, we really like that it shows stats at the bottom of the trip. For example, it shows the distance of your entire trip. It shows the duration of your trip. It also shows the drive time from start to finish as if you were not going to stop. It also shows the amount estimated to spend on gas. You go in and set RV Parky to whatever gas price you think is going to be the most common on your trip, and it will use that gas price average to tell you about how much your gas is going to be for the entire trip. When we choose places to go on RV Parky, we choose some place that takes anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours to get there. From that time, we add anywhere from an hour to 2 hours to that time, depending on when we leave that day, to know if we're going to need to stop for gas, or stop for lunch, or just to stop for a break and walk around. So we know that it's going to take at least an hour longer than RV Parky says. Another reason we like RV Parky is there are reviews that we can look at of each place that we want to stay. Some reviews are very positive and some are not. So in order to get more of a balance, we'll go on Google reviews of the place we want to go, and that kind of helps balance things out a little bit. We look to see how old some of the reviews are because some of the campgrounds have updated. Also, some of the campgrounds have closed since being listed on RV Parky, so you have to be aware of that as well. We like to leave reviews too, one to help other people, but also to remind us of our stay there. You know, what did we like? What didn't fit with our needs and that sort of thing. Unrelated to travel planning, we do like to add the states to our state map once we've been there. We have put self-criteria on that we need to stay in a state at least for 2 nights and do at least 2 activities in that state. After getting to Arizona, we haven't put our states up yet. So we're still due to put up Louisiana, New Mexico, and Arizona. So we're going to put that up for you. Our map is more filled in. Doesn't it look great? Right now we're in Texas, and we still get the question, where are you going next? We really aren't sure. We have an appointment in East Texas to have some work done on the RV, so we know that's going to happen in April. After that, we're just really not sure. We've toyed with going back to South Carolina. We've toyed going straight north to Michigan. We've toyed going back west to hit some of the national parks that we haven't been able to see yet. And then, of course, you know, Canada is always an option. So who knows? I guess you'll have to stay tuned to find out where we go next. If you have any suggestions of places that you think would be great for us to visit, please put them in the comment. We are looking for suggestions on places to go. I hope you enjoyed our video. Until next time, bye.